Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so New Nation had an absolutely dramatic nail-biting war once again with GT40. Every time we fight these guys, it is a crazy good war and always extremely close. So GT40 obviously extremely strong alliance, very strong, and New Nation is doing our best as well. And this is 5th war of the season. At the moment we had 3-1 before this war, and I actually have to fight very late in the war, and I have to do path 9 in section 1 and path 2 in section 2. And I did have a mini boss fight assigned to me initially, but somebody else had to take that fight in order to get an extra charge on one of his champions. I believe it was Mephisto. So I only ended up having 4 fights this war. However, still at this point, this war was anybody's game. That's how close they were. I'm going to explain it in a bit. But first, obviously, path 9, and I have to deal with this quote-unquote scary Void, right? So Void on Hazard Shift with super mega powerful Schadenfreude, and the base idea is as soon as you get a debuff on you, he gains a massive Fury, and then because it's a debuff, obviously Void does a ton of damage to you, and there's very little room for error. That is exactly why for these fights you just want to blitz them. Here I made a mistake and I accidentally used my 150% boost instead of the 201 because I just wanted to make sure that after my level 2 I get pushed to a level 3, which will do a ton of damage because obviously I'm going to have a lot of armor breaks on Void and plus that Fury. So that is the game plan here, at least for me. Use a Power Start 1 boost, Cosmic boosts, half suicides. With Cosmic Ghost Rider, you do not want to have that poison active because that's not going to end well. You're going to be dead within moments. And the key there is just to finish that fight out before he even transitions to Hazard Shift Poison phase. So we just want to do everything in Incinerate phase. And here that Void actually was being a bit frustrating initially, where he didn't want to get parried from the get-go. But it's okay. We worked it out. Here I dropped level 2. And that gives me 3 bars of power, and I drop a level 3, and that's going to be pretty much it. And we're going to see that Void again gets completely melted here at this point. More than half his health gone with this single level 3. And yeah, we never made it to the poison phase. So again, just like a quick recap there. You can see that from the start, he didn't want to get parried, he dashed back, so I hit his block, and then I missed my own parry, but I re-parried, and finished combo with light, got my power, finished the combo with medium, dropped my level 2, and we can see that I just also got, here's the trick, that this is going to show you exactly how much damage that Void does. I just got 1 tick from that Void debuff, and that was already 756, and that took 2% of my health away instantly. So that is how powerful these stacked Voids are. But again, then level 2 and job's done. Wonderful 30-second fight, including full animation of level 3. So yeah, very quick. Then I quickly need to jump in my masteries because I had left some mastery points spare. Put on my liquid courage for the rest of the fights, and then we're gonna have 1 fight for Nimrod and double fights for Magneto. One of the fights is actually going to turn out to be a bit more finicky than I thought they would. But this next fight here is again Hazard Shift, Indestructible Power 1 or something like that. Whenever I get a bar of power, he's going to go indestructible. Still have my Power Start 1 boost active, so he's going to start with that indestructibility. And the key here is obviously to just kind of wait out the Incinerate phase. I actually do get hit a bit, but you know, it's Nimrod against a mutant. It took 3% of my health. It's fine, 4% at this point, taking the hits in block. So here at this point, the Incinerate phase expired. Probably should have dropped maybe 1 more hit, but it's fine because I wanted to get the energy vulnerability active, and that obviously is going to help me out a bit as well. Now I need to again wait out the Incinerate phase and hopefully get to my level 2 before energy vulnerability wears out. Because thanks to that energy vulnerability, obviously your shocks do more damage. And I have done this fight before, so I know that if I have energy vulnerability active and plenty of armor ups, this is exactly what happens. So again, let's just check out the Havoc's health pool here, shall we? So we're activating level 2 whilst he's at 78% health. And then he's at 0. It's a very satisfying level to be throwing. So he's at 84, something, whatever, dead. I quite like this one. Quite like this one. I just love whenever you get a chance to use Nimrod these days, but you know, alliances are getting smarter and smarter with their mutant placement, so they're trying to protect their mutants from Nimrod, as they should, because at the moment, if there is a mutant on map that can be done by Nimrod, it likely will be, and they're not going to survive past, you know, 30-second mark or something like that. As soon as you get level 2, those fights are pretty much over. Now, it's this is a strike counter block penetration node, and I'm actually going to make a mistake in this fight, because I'm going to think that Magneto is going to be able to disable that node as well, and I'm just going to throw heavies and everything's going to be fine, but he's starting to gain those block penetration charges here, and I'm noticing that I have 4 disorients, and I'm like, well, I didn't like that one very much. And at this point, I figured I'm just going to try and get to my level 3 basically as quickly as possible. I know that Modo can't auto-block me, so that's wonderful. I'm going to try and, you know, get in like another heavy attack. But at this point, he has 7 of those charges and 8 of those charges, and I really don't want to take a hit in a block. But Magneto did work out on that perfect block chance. So I'm going to throw my level 3 with only 10 prowess active. And it's going to be pretty much enough. You know, I'm not going to finish him off with this level 3. He still stays at 25%, but there are 7 bleeds on him. I can go in and punish that level 1 of his. Those bleeds are, you know, doing damage, and that's how he dies, pretty much. If I didn't hit him, he would still have died from that shrapnel bleed. And now I have Corvus, and again, because of who we are up against, because how close this war is, I'm actually going to drop in another 3-minute boost. Top my Magneto health. So power start 1, because I do want to get my level 3 as quickly as possible, again, because of this strike counter node. So this time around, I will kind of try and play around that strike counter node a bit more, at the very least initially. So I'm going to do like a specific combos just to leave myself with a couple of charges there. And that brings me to nearly like 2 bars of power. At this point, I drop a heavy attack, and now every hit I drop can give him a block penetration charge. But I'm, you know, already at 2.5 bars of power, plenty of prowesses. Just want to bait out this level 2 and drop like another heavy attack, then charge my heavy again. Have 32 prowess this time around, and that's going to be more than enough. Corvus is at 63%. And how much he has left afterwards? 6%, but his immortality is down, 21 bleeds, and 1 tick of the bleeds. The fights are over. So all of my fights are very, very brief. Not a lot of fighting time. Not a lot of fighting time. And still, at the point I finished my fights, this was the score there. It was 1-1. We died first. We died quite early. And they didn't die up until like 140 kills. So they cleaned our defense from, you know, 0 to 140 attacker kills with 0 deaths. Man, they were playing phenomenal. And entire war we were down by 1 death. And it wasn't even looking all that bad, because we were consistently ahead in exploration, but they just didn't die past that, up until 140. And at the point where they did die, we were still down on the time anyhow. So it wasn't looking good. Basically, they had to die twice, which unfortunately didn't happen. Actually, the reverse happened. We ended up dying in one of our last fights. So we lost this war 1 death to 2 deaths, which, you know, is about as close as you can get in these top tier wars. On the bright side, our BG finished again with no deaths, and we were the one who got the defender kill as well. So there's that. There's that. We won the BG fight, but, you know, that doesn't really matter too much. And then if we look at the war scores, I have taken only 24 fights so far this season. That's really not a lot of fights. It's been a fairly easy season for me so far, but I still, well, managed to get one stupid death and 1 kind of emergency fight type of situation. So 2 deaths, and that's not a good ratio. That's really not a great ratio. But I only used 1 level 5 potion this war, which still somehow is estimated to be worth around 30,000 loyalty, so there's that. And one set of boosts pretty much, so it hasn't been the most expensive war for me. As far as fights, CGR and Nimrod. CGR seems to be like the champion that is doing a ton of work overall for me. I have brought him in, I think, in all wars except one, for whatever reason. CGR has been in all wars except one so far for me, so it looks like guys in my battle group want me to be using CGR a lot. But again, a fairly brief, quick Alliance War video. So unfortunately, New Nation now is 3-2 in the season. Again, not the greatest start, but you know, we can't really be upset about war like this as well. We played really, really well. We went, you know, with 2 deaths. Our battle group got donut as well. So it's just one of those things. We're trying our best, and you know, sometimes doesn't work out. Sometimes doesn't work out. But here we are. That's about it for now, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the